Prime Minister announces changes to the Cabinet. FIU and the World Bank host a National Money Laundering Risk Assessment Workshop, and the government awards grants through the Chiquibul Forest Investment Initiative. These stories and more tonight on Belize Now. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday, December 16th. I'm Charlie Hutchinson. The Attorney General and Minister of Natural Resources, Senator Honorable Vanessa Richridge, has come to the end of her one-year contract with the government and will be leaving the Cabinet at the end of this month. As a result, Prime Minister Right Honorable Dean Barrow held a press briefing on Tuesday, December 13th, where he announced upcoming changes to the Cabinet. In her remarks, Minister Richridge thanked the Prime Minister for the privilege to serve the government and the people of Belize and explained that because of family and previous business commitments, she will be returning to private practice.
Thank you to the Belizean people, my family, who has been extremely supportive, and I look forward to serving my country in other ways. I remain committed to this UDP administration and will provide any support I can, whenever I can, to this UDP administration. And I am confident that this administration will see the country through these troubling times that we are having.
The entire public service, all the individual ministries have been full of praise for the way things get done with efficiency and with rapidity at the Attorney General's ministry, and that is all due to the leadership of still the Honorable Vanessa Richridge. In terms of her contribution at the level of the Lands Department, this administration is greatly in her debt.
The Prime Minister also announced that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Michael Perifete, will take up the post of Attorney General in January 2017, and the Ministry of Natural Resources will become a part of the Prime Minister's portfolio. Senator Honorable Dr. Carla Barnett, Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, will take up the day-to-day management of the Ministry of Natural Resources. The Ministry of Home Affairs will be assigned to the Honorable Wilfred Ellerington. Honorable Elodio Aragon remains as the Minister of State in the Ministry of Home Affairs and will continue to manage the daily affairs of that ministry. Mrs. Laura Longsworth, President of the Belize Cancer Society and the Chairman of the National AIDS Commission, will be proposed by Cabinet as the potential replacement for Honorable Perifete as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. On Tuesday, December 15th, the Financial Intelligence Unit, FIU, in collaboration with the World Bank, hosted a National Money Laundering Risk Assessment Workshop in Belize City. Our Belize Now team was present.
The World Bank joined forces with the Financial Intelligence Unit to host a workshop aimed at the prevention of money laundering. According to the Director of the Financial Intelligence Unit, the workshop will allow participants to determine the risk of crimes, primarily financial, that could potentially harm the country.
It's a national risk assessment that countries are required to have in place. It is a FATF, the Financial Actions Task Force. It is a FATF requirement. But beyond that, even there are some countries who have done national risk assessments even outside of that. So basically what it does, it allows you to determine what is the possibility or the risk of any type of financial crime, and not only financial crimes, as well as other types of crimes, cybercrime and so on, that could potentially harm your jurisdiction and its ability to effect cross-border transactions and international trade. So, or some countries have done it within 2 years. We're targeting something like 18 months.
With increasing importance being placed on the assessment of money laundering and terrorist financing, the workshop focused on identifying and evaluating the risks in order to develop effective policies and actions so as to eliminate, control, and mitigate the incidences. But Belize is not alone in this process, as mentioned by World Bank senior financial specialists.
The National Risk Assessment is a three-phase process expected to generally take between 12 to 18 months, although some of your neighboring countries, it's taken a little bit longer to complete the process. We will share with you some ideas on how you can move through the process as efficiently as possible. You are the most important stakeholders in this process, as you know the local situation here better than any other experts. That means you will need to do a lot of work over the period to complete the NRA process.
For Belize Now, I am Janelle Rodriguez.
Following this workshop, the working group will complete the risk assessment and will participate in another workshop which will facilitate the review of the results. Up next, more news stories. Stay with us.
Across the country, development and transformation continue under this government. The new Guanacaste roundabout at the junction of the Hummingbird and the George Price highways is complete and one to be proud of. The George Price Highway is being rehabilitated from the Belmopan Junction to Benque Viejo. There will be a new baking pot bridge and upgrade of the Caracol Road. Also, the new Macal River bypass and bridge will be completed by March 2017. In the Belize district, the work has already started from the Hallover Bridge to the Philip Golson Airport, and funding has now been secured for the new link road to span the Belize River starting from behind Gentrack and coming out at Mile 8 on the George Price Highway. A $40 million UK grant has been secured for the paving and aligning of the coastal road and construction of new bridges. Under this same grant, the Philip Golson Highway will be improved between Orange Walk and Corozal. This government continues to work for the development of Belize. Your vision, our mission.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field Basketball Court, and the Santa Elena Football Field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Benque Viejo Marshallek Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In DANGRIGA, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the DANGRIGA indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
The government of Belize has invested almost $2.5 million in the Chiquibul Forest Investment Initiative for the preservation and protection of our natural resources. Earlier this week, 4 organizations received grants to support their work. Janelle Rodriguez tells us more.
A total of $2,176,000 was awarded to 4 organizations through the Chiquibul Forest Investment Initiative, government's most significant investment in the endangered Chiquibul Forest and surrounding nature and forest reserves. On Tuesday, December 13th, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Forestry, the Environment and Sustainable Development hosted an awards ceremony where the objectives of the investment initiative were highlighted.
Today I stand here very proud that the Chiquibul Forest Investment Initiative Consortium has successfully submitted to the Board of Directors of PAC a solid project proposal with 4 achievable objectives, which are as follows. First, equip enforcement organizations with transportation, communication, and operational equipment to support a 50% increase in patrol duration and coverage within the first year alone. Second, it will increase Joint Ranger force in the Chiquibul Forest by 56% within the first year. Third, it will support an increase in law enforcement infrastructure with the construction of 2 new conservation posts, 18 kilometers of access road, and upgrading of 3 ranger staging quarters. And lastly, it will support the Vaca Forest Reserve to map the human footprint.
The 4 deserving organizations were Friends for Conservation and Development, receiving $770,000, Yakshe Conservation Trust, receiving $400,000, Belize Defense Force, receiving $434,000, and the Belize Forest Department, receiving $572,000. How will the money be used? Here is what the representatives from the different organizations had to say.
This grant represents a unique opportunity for us since we will be able to increase our Joint Ranger Force by receiving trainings on jungle combat, law enforcement, smart system, firearm safety and handling, self-defense, and biodiversity monitoring techniques provided by Belize Defense Force and Forest Department, placing our Ranger team as one of the best trained in Belize. This grant will also allow us to increase awareness of protected area rules, regulations, and associated penalties in buffering communities, particularly in San Pedro, Colombia, Golden Stream, and Bladen.
The Belize Defense Force are going to get vehicles, we're going to get radio equipment, we're going to get communication equipment, GPS equipment, so that we can ensure that we patrol the area and prevent the illegal extraction of our resources.
The finances that we are basically receiving is beyond just really the conservation posts. It's also going to help us, of course, in terms of the Ranger Force, at least for the next 2 years, which is really one of the most important things for us, really to have a presence on the ground.
With this investment now, I'm hoping that with proper planning and proper collaboration with our friends and colleagues of Friends for Conservation and Development, the Belize Defense Force, Yakshe Conservation Trust, and of course us, we should be having a very good program in place that will deter and at the end of the day ensure that we do not continue having these problems with encroachments by Guatemalans in Belize.
And as effectively mentioned by Commandant David Jones of the Belize Defense Force,
you know what you're going to do, you know how you're going to do it, but if you're not provided with the resources to do it, you can't get it done. Today, we're getting the resources to get it done.
For Belize Now, I am Janelle Rodriguez.
The investment was possible through PACT and the Environmental Management Fund. The government of Belize revealed plans to invest an overall $15.8 million in 5 contiguous protected areas to further safeguard our natural resources. The Immigration and Nationality Department held its final nationality swearing-in ceremony for 2016 on December 14th in Belmopan. 123 new citizens from 25 different countries took the oath to become Belizeans.
Let me assure you that we hold these ceremonies in public so that we can publicly welcome you into our Belizean family. It takes a lot of processes and procedures to become a citizen. I would advise you not to lose this right, because if it is found that after you receive your citizenship, you reside outside of Belize for 5 consecutive years, or if you are convicted of an offense under the Belizean Nationality Act, or if you are convicted of a crime under the Criminal Code, or if within 5 years of receiving your citizenship, you are sentenced in any court to imprisonment for a term of 12 months or more, you can lose your Belizean citizenship.
For me, love the fact that we are able to share with our close neighbors, and for those of you who are not so close to us, a piece of what we cherish most. Belize as being the most peaceful country in Central America, to share that with you, to look at the wealth of resources that we have, or natural resources, from the pristine forests to the high mountains to the Maya ruins, to just the beautiful people of which now you become a part.
The Department of Immigration and Nationality now has a new website, www.ins.gov.bz, and a Facebook page, Belize Immigration and Nationality Services. On these sites, persons can find application forms for all the services as well as sample forms of how they should be completed. The department will be moving into an appointment system for all services in early 2017, and customers are asked to be on the lookout for information on this new service. With only about a month left to prepare for her journey to the Philippines, Queen of the Jewel, Miss Belize Rebecca Rath, made some time for Belize Now to talk about the whirlwind of excitement and changes that have become her everyday life since being crowned in September.
She stole the stage, the crown, and the hearts of many, especially in the South, on September 10th this year. Rebecca Rath was crowned the 2016 Queen of the Jewel, Miss Belize, and after several years of no representation from Belize, she'll be one of the 90 ladies vying for the title of Miss Universe come January 29th, 2017. In the culture capital, where she was born and raised, Rebecca went from being a tomboy volleyball player to a stiletto-stomping, crown-bearing beauty queen. She told us that her life has completely changed since.
I pretty much became a public figure. You know, everyone is looking at you and watching your every move, and all of a sudden you have to be so conscious of how you look all the time and how you carry yourself. So it's been a journey, but I'm enjoying it.
And what is Miss Belize taking to the competition?
I just want the world to know that Belize is diverse, you know, and we haven't been to Miss Universe in just about 10 years. I want to return with a bang. I want to make a mark, even if, you know, let's say we don't win, but I want them to remember Belize and remember who Belize is. Naturally, I'm a very competitive person. I don't always like what I have to do, but I understand that in competition, sometimes you just have to do what you don't want to in order to win. I'm excited to go and meet all these new people, make friends, and to experience another country while representing mine. And so I'm just gonna take the fun, joking spirit that I have and my competitiveness, and hopefully it'll turn out in our favor.
The Queen of the Jewel said that preparing for the big day involves a lot of changes, and those include adjusting to wearing a full face of makeup, well-planned outfits, eating healthier meals, and no more messy buns, except for the gym, which has become a daily routine. Other daily activities of the Queen include making appearances at various events and doing school visits, which Rebecca said she enjoys most.
You get to see the kids so excited to see you, and they ask you questions like, is your crown real, and can I wear your crown? And so it's a good feeling to know that the kids look up to you, knowing that they have someone to want to be like, someone to motivate them. But other than that, I am at the gym twice a day. I am eating no flour, no rice, no potatoes. So I pretty much just eat vegetables and grilled meat, but that's okay. January is almost over. And I do a lot of research as well about my country, about issues happening in the world, because you never know what that onstage question is going to be like.
So can the kids wear your crown?
No, it's mine. Sorry.
Along with her busy prep schedule, Rebecca was honored to be one of the contestants who were paid a visit by the Miss Universe team.
There's about 96 contestants in the Miss Universe pageant, and out of the 96, they chose 30 countries to go to. And Belize was one of them, so that was exciting. That was a big deal for Belize. They got here, and I pretty much just showed them what Belize was all about. I took them to the Keys, I took them to a waterfall, the zoo, just gave them a real taste of Belize. And then we spent a couple days here in DANGRIGA, where I took them to the market, where I got saho, which is my favorite, and a little bit of dancing, so they got a real feel of what it's like here in Belize.
The journey, Rebecca told us, hasn't been easy. It's her biggest challenge in life so far and has definitely required her to overcome the fear of stepping out of her comfort zone. But she has no regrets and encourages others to view challenges as chances of growth. She has been living by her favorite quote, "You have to do something you've never done to get results you've never gotten."
People are afraid to take chances because they're afraid to fail. But the sooner we realize that fear is a part of the journey and failure is the best teacher, I mean, you'll gain the experience and build the confidence to do anything you want. It's just about finding it in you to take that step, you know, saying, I can do it. And that's what I hope that a lot of people saw now that I won, because everyone knows that I used to play volleyball, being on the national team, and no one thought I would be a pageant girl. I mean, all my volleyball friends laughed so hard at me when I told them I was going to do it. But the fact that I did it and I was myself, I just had to adapt to the competition I was in. I hope that a lot of people see that it's possible. You know, once you set your mind to it and you have the right support team, you can do it.
For Belize Now, I'm Miriam Longsworth.
After the break, our segment In Case You Missed It. Don't go anywhere.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day, always on the alert. A disciplined, well-trained military machine we can all be proud of. The Belize Defense Force. Be proud. Be Belizean. Shoulder to shoulder with the BDF.
The government of Belize on December 13th in London received the Prince Michael International Road Safety Award. The award recognizes achievement and innovation in road safety worldwide. The government was awarded based on its leadership role to move road safety to a higher integrated level in the region through the Belize Road Safety Project, which was implemented in 2012. Accepting the award on behalf of the government and people of Belize were the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Economic Development and Petroleum, Yvonne Hyde, and the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Works, Errol Gentle. According to a joint press release issued by the Government of Belize and the Caribbean Development Bank, the target of the project is to reach a 20% reduction in the frequency and severity of traffic collisions by 2018. The Ramos Stadium in DANGRIGA town is one of the sporting facilities that were rehabilitated and upgraded through the Belize Infrastructure Limited, BIL, and with the Petrocarib Development Fund. All the works on the Ramos Stadium have been completed and it's looking brand new. The stadium was officially inaugurated on December 10th. Among the guests at the ceremony were the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, Honorable Patrick Vour, Minister of Defense, Honorable John Saldivar, General Manager of BIL, Christy Maestri, and the Mayor of DANGRIGA Town, Francis Humphreys.
Ramos Stadium, the only one of its kind in the country of Belize. And I say that with all due respect to Minister Saldivar. Mr. Dora Beaton is a gem, but no other stadium has this kind of location, ambience, and the history on which it has been built. So we have a spectacular view, we have a history that is second to none, and now we have a facility of which every person in DANGRIGA and in the country of Belize can be proud. This is value for money.
I want to reflect on the importance of the name Carl Ramos. Carl Ramos was a man that we call Kiwi. It is very significant that this stadium is named Carl Ramos because he was a very humble man. He was a man who believed in communicating, even if that communication was not what is formally accepted. But he communicated nonetheless. And so, the idea of Carl Ramos Stadium is dynamic insofar as the humility is concerned.
Highlights of the event included cultural performances and football matches by the local teams in DANGRIGA. And that's it for this edition of Belize Now. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to provide feedback or send in your comments, please feel free to email us at info@pressoffice.gov.bz or visit our Facebook page and let us know what you think. We look forward to hearing from you. From all of us at the Government Press Office, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We'll see you back here in 2017.